25th of September at 7:30. If you hear somebody talking today and you're like, geez, I want to know more about that. Maybe it's brakes, maybe it's a house, maybe it's a mortgage, maybe it's understanding about Aura Motors. Click in here and you get a Kira directory and you can look that person up and have all the contact details. Because people like Josh are super important if you want to keep your machines running, your electronic machines running, that is. Or you're looking to feed somebody like Kara Lee does all on a regular basis. Now that QR code I'm talking about, those are e-cards. So whether it's a link or whether it's the QR code, it's a service that we have inside Phoenix. You can help reach anybody. You can contact less resistance in finding somebody and their means of contact. Whether it's an email, a phone, or just a little bit of a background information like a YouTube video. We've done over $4.9 million worth of business between us since 2016. Year-to-date numbers are 159,000, almost $160,000 worth of business just done between the Phoenix members year-to-date. And we didn't have a quick discussion on who's got that, who's going to be doing that educational component. So my evil eye swinging around and going, "Hey, Josh, do you have words of wisdom for today for IT?"
Nothing prepared, but I can ad lib for sure. Is that good to go?
Oh, that's nice. Actually, you know what? I got a question for you. There's a new threat that's come out recently that with people using their phone, and it's going through the hospital networks right now. That if it looks legitimate and someone is trying to get into their payroll and to do their pay, and it leveraged into the rest of the system, and I don't have the name for the hack. And if that's too obscure,
Yeah,
then
I'm not aware of that one either, what the current one is. I know that in the past there have been other big ones. That being said, so a solid security solution is what would be needed to mitigate that. And so often you have, like bring your own devices issues with your companies where you may have something already set up internally, but you're relaxed on how you let your employees come in with their own devices who may or may not have a good security package. They might not have antivirus that's up to date. They might not have responsible downloading habits and web habits and that kind of thing. Basically, there's a whole bunch of different avenues, and you should be looking at making sure that you have a secure network. I know that VPN is a common way to do that. You see a lot of networks out there where they will have they set up remote desktop access so they can access their machines at the office from home, but they do it in a way that they're basically just passing traffic from the internet directly to that machine. Remote desktop is inherently insecure. You can just hit it, brute force it over and over and over, hit it with a dictionary. You see that somebody will hit like 3 million hits against a remote desktop in about an hour. And they'll run through basically the entire dictionary and then some permutations of words in the dictionary to try and get in. So you want to have an antivirus. You want to have, really in 2025, you want to have what's called a EDR, which is endpoint detection and response, which is like antivirus on steroids. Basically, with antivirus, you have about 1 million computers get smoked. And then the forensic data scientists out there pick those up and they establish certain signatures, certain patterns from that virus, and then they put them out in your virus definitions. So when you download your Norton antivirus, your Bitdefender antivirus virus definitions, that's what you're getting. You're getting a signature, a fingerprint based on some million people's or 100,000, couple 100,000 people's bad luck last week. And so when you have an EDR, essentially it's an AI-based solution that also, in addition to signatures, looks at the behaviors and heuristics of what's going on in every program that's running on your computer. And if it sees it start to do something weird, like I'm going to start decrypting your hard drive or encrypting your hard drive, and you didn't ask for that necessarily through user input, it will stop that. And it might, you might have legitimate reason for encrypting your hard drive, but most of the time you're not doing that kind of thing. Your IT professional is doing it anyway. And so if you're looking for something smart to do in the antivirus space, then EDR is something definitely to look into. So yeah, that's my education minute about EDR, I guess. So
Josh, thank you so much, and really appreciate it. And sorry for the off the cuff, but I just thought, I know you have a world of wisdom back there. I just, we'll pick a spot and work around it.
it's
So
no
thank you.
problem. I'll bore you with my nerdery anytime you want to have a good nap, snooze. So there you go. Your Monday morning
Excellent.
snooze.
Perfect. Our LinkedIn live post, that is the link. Put your contents out there. Let the world know you exist. Because we've had conversations about this. If you don't say something, no one's going to know what you're offering, right? So we're going to do a round robin of Fickle Finger of Fate's going to start off with Kara Lee. So she's got to find that mute button. And then we will go to Eric. Kara Lee, over to you when you're ready. Sorry. Do you want me to come back to you? Okay. Eric, over to you, and then we'll come back to Kara Lee.
Good morning. Eric Sonego of CA Pros. We bring reason to numbers and numbers to reason. Um, we are supposedly going into a slow area in accounting, because it's too early to do most of the year ends that we do with November and December year ends. We have only one in September that has a year end of all the companies we do, and that's not here yet. We have one in August of all the companies we do, because we try not to have August and September year ends because we take holidays. But those are perennial latecomers. Those people were chasing in February, so I'm not worried about August and September year ends, because those are perennial late people. In early December, I will start sending messages to them, and they'll remember that they have to do the year end. So so we're not that busy at this time of the year, which is good, because it gives you time to go out and smell the flowers, and look at the sky, and do things like that. And I am sorry that I was planning to play golf, but I have a soccer injury that prevents me from either wearing socks or playing golf, because someone stomped on my foot, and 6 weeks ago, by the way, 6 weeks ago, and I didn't take care of the injury, and it got infected, and now I have to be under antibiotics, and I cannot wear socks, and I cannot drink because I'm taking antibiotics. So it's been a horrible week of not having beer. So besides that, everything is okay. Have a great week. Oh, by the
Eric,
way, before I go, I did have a BAM with Sam, but that was like 2 weeks ago.
excellent, Eric. And next item is, hi, someone does furniture restoration? Get them to reach out to Penny Lee, and that's a service we can capitalize on inside our space. And I'm going to swing over to Carol Lee, and I'm just going to push out some stats out there. And Carol Lee, over to you, ma'am.
Great, thank you. And yes, I did find the unmute button. um, I just want to say how much I enjoyed meeting you all in person on Thursday. The golf tournament was a lot of fun, and a huge shout out to everyone for participating, and to Mike for kind of spearheading things from his side of things. It was a wonderful afternoon, and I'm sure everybody went home and took a nice hot shower or warmed up, however you needed to warm up. But it was a great day despite the weather. I always reflect on, how we start a month, and September is a really important month for us in the food bank world because it's Hunger Action Month. So it's kind of the month where we try to raise as much awareness as we can about food insecurity and poverty and everything happening, not just locally, but provincially, nationally, internationally. This month is celebrated worldwide. But to start out with that tournament and how successful it was really kind of put our September on a good trajectory going forward. September's busy, obviously, because of Hunger Action Month, and the day after the tournament, so the 5th, Friday, was actually National Food Bank Day. And I just wanted to read something that was posted online, and it's very reflective, and I think we can all take something from this. It says, "Today is National Food Bank Day, a reminder that hunger often hides in plain sight. Your neighbor, your coworker, or a child at school may be facing empty cupboards and empty bellies." So it talks about the Canada Food Cupboard. It says, "At the Canada Food Cupboard, we support over 450 families every single month. Every visit represents a family reaching out in a moment of need. In just the first 8 months of 2025, families have turned to us more than 15,000 times. That's not just a number, it's 15,000 moments of asking for help and of trusting that someone will be there." So, really important to think about families that are having to access food banks, how important it is that food banks are there and able to help. So the tournament has started our month great. We've got a few other things taking place in September. We've got a big food drive this weekend here in Canada at Canada Lakes. It's partnering with the Canada Lakes Community Association and the Canada Hazeltine Lions Club. It's a big event, so we're looking forward to that this coming Saturday. And throughout September, we've got one of the car dealerships. They do a big campaign for us. So it's great to be able to partner with all these wonderful businesses in our community. So thank you all for starting September on the right track for the Canada Food Cupboard. And we hope everyone has a great week. Thank you.
Shirley, thank you so much. Another quick note out there. Cat Herd, if you have an event that's you want to promote, you have content you want to promote, you've done something Lightspeed fantastic, Cat will help propagate that information across the different Phoenix platforms. Just reach out to her. She'll need an image. She'll need the usual stuff that helps people find you. I'm going to swing over to Josh and then Jacqueline. Josh, over to you, sir.
Morning, folks. Happy Monday. Yeah, it's Sterling Grace Tech is my company, and we are a one-stop shop for all your IT needs. Half of what we do is managed services for your IT devices, and that can be any size of company from a standalone realtor that's just doing her thing to a great big accounting firm that's working on people's tax returns, not quite yet, but maybe shortly. And we deal with anything from my computer won't turn on, my email won't work, my mute button won't work on my Zoom, my computer speakers won't work. Helping people building Excel spreadsheets, for example, that can do interesting and automated things. A lot of people don't realize that Excel actually has a programming language built right into it called VBA, where you can automate a lot of things. We recently worked on an Excel project for a customer to help them building a cash flow forecasting system. And basically, they would just enter their bank balances and expected revenue over periods of time, and it would project their forecasted cash flow throughout the next year, as well as their actual revenue and compare them how they stack up. And so that's another thing that we can do. All the way up to you've got a critical server and it died yesterday, which means you needed backups yesterday and a disaster recovery solution yesterday. And so what a lot of people might not be aware of is through a technology called virtualization and a proper backup strategy, your server can actually spin up in the cloud right after it gets flooded and is underwater. With the most recent backup version, which can be anything from daily to, in the most extreme circumstances, hourly. And so your business might be physically underwater, but your team are remotely connecting from home to your backup server that's just been spun up in the cloud while you look for a new location, and you're not losing client money. You're not missing client calls. I mean, it depends, right? If your building is where you deliver your services, you might have to close down for a bit, but at least if you have a business that can run remotely, you have an opportunity to continue on. And so I think that for all businesses that move beyond just kind of the like working out of my basement kind of thing, As part of your scaling, no shade on businesses that are working out of their basement, but as part of your scaling to get your business on solid ground, you need a disaster recovery solution. And so there's something else that we can help you with. So if you're interested in learning more about what we do, I didn't even touch on the website or custom software side of things. We've got a team of 6 that are looking to help you make your tech make you money and not just cost you money. Thanks.
Josh, thank you so much. Next quick promo item. If you need to be somewhere else for one of these meetings and not here, Mike is a good option to reach out to, and he can be a substitute. And if his calendar aligns and your timing is where you need to be, Mike's the man to reach out to. We're going to do Jacqueline and then Shane. Jacqueline, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. And I know on this beautiful Monday, you looked out your windows, you recognized the full moon, which was stunning last night. However, you did take a breath and lift your shoulders, take them back, release them down. And as you exhale, you thought, I want to go to Ecuador so I can be at Jacqueline's retreat. I think she'd love that. I think you'd love that. And while you're thinking about that, perhaps it's this or it's that. Perhaps you're thinking about using a real estate agent or go for sale by owner. Should you be considering the wide, it's a big decision when you're busy thinking about buying or selling a home. And so we say that it's an FSBO, for sale by owner. For that, you can take on all the stresses and all the legal responsibilities and all the research and all the showings and all the legal documentations and more. And the main reason people often use this route is because of commission costs on selling a home. And let me tell you the benefits of using an agent, because it's plentiful. You know, they're ready to get the pricing correct. They've got the staging for you, the photography I talked about before. And you can rely on them to do all the paperwork. If there's a plot twist that arrives, they're there to help you. And they're the ones who help you benefit from having your home listed on their site and their social media. And so here it is. The winner, this or that, I believe, is using an agent. And while you're using an agent, you're using the mortgage honey for all of the money pieces. So when you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money, you need to contact your mortgage honey. Thanks so much.
Jacqueline, thank you so much. There is the link for the East Trade Winds Zoom registration, free to attend, and it's tomorrow at 8 to 9. And again, a reminder, Eric's talking tomorrow, so come on in and listen to Eric give the words of wisdom. Mr. Shane, and then Mike. Shane, over to you, sir.
Hey guys, hope everyone's having a lovely Monday here, bright and sunny outside where I am, so that's really good. Just wanted to touch on our concussion walk that we do every year. It's going to be on 27th this year. We have moved locations to help with create some more awareness. That's the whole point of it, is just so that people kind of are aware more of those people that are walking around where you think they look okay, but a lot of times they're not doing so well with that because of, the symptoms that are kind of the invisible injury, they call it, right? So those people that are walking around, everything's going well, but if they have too much noise, too much commotion, they do too much physical labor, and like that, they start having some of those symptoms, which makes them either grumpy and moody, or they just need to sit down to relieve that headache and stuff like that. So, it's not something you see with a cast or physical problem. It's something that you'll see inside of them, and it's their mood and behavior. So that's going to be in Manitic this year. We're going to do like the farmers market across the bridge. Is a really nice place to go. They don't have a lot of concussion clinics over there too, so we're going that way to help with them. We have a synchronized swimming team that supposedly gets a lot of concussions, which is, I didn't know that beforehand until I started talking to people. And a lot of stuff that happens underneath the water that people don't realize that can, have head trauma and stuff like that too. And they do a lot of spinning. So spinning is a big thing. Figure skaters, dancers, those type of things. Or when you're spinning, the brain is moving, obviously, with motion. So when you're doing all that spinning, it can create some adverse effects with the neurons that are in the brain by stretching them and causing some bad motion and management of that. So hopefully, you're not suffering from any of those, but come to Manitic as the 27th of September, about 10 o'clock till, 1 o'clock or so. there'll be some snacks and stuff like that, prizes and things like that, just to see what's going on. So it's going to be a great time. I hope to see everybody there. There'll be more information about that coming up as we're finalizing posters and stuff like that right now. So if you know anybody in Manitouk or you're free on that Saturday, I would love to see you there. Do a little bit of a walk and create some awareness. Thanks again, guys. Hopefully that's helpful for everybody. I'm Shane Bowles, Production Health and Performance. Hope to see you there. Remember, we see results, and so should you. So give us a call.
Shane, thank you so much. A nice quick promo. It's the Ad Hive. It's a remote collab working space. In fact, when I'm going to be doing the recording today with Eric, I'm going to actually work from there because bathroom renovations, the room adjacent to me is going to have sound effects that will not be mitigated by tech, unless, of course, I cut the power to the tools. And no. Mike, over to you, sir. What's happening?
Thank you. Morning, everybody. Mike here representing Orr Motors, located in the heart of Stittsville. My role with Orr Motors is with business development, and community development. Orr Motors has an extensive inventory of pre-owned vehicles and specializes in late model SUVs and even late model high-end pickup trucks. At Orr Motors, success isn't just measured in numbers, it's defined by the difference they make in people's lives. Being part of the community means much more than just doing business. It means investing in people, organizations, and causes that make that area a better place for everyone. And over the years, Orr Motors had the privilege of supporting local charities, youth groups, community events, and so on. A great referral today for Orr Motors is that if you know somebody who might be in the market for a late model vehicle, please let me know and I will introduce them directly to Fred Orr, who's the owner of Orr Motors, and that will make their buying experience an enjoyable one. Mike representing Orr Motors, the greatest joy of living comes from the joy of giving. Thank you.
Mike, thank you so much. Now, next promo. If you're a wedding planner, have them reach out. Have them reach out to Penny Lee. No, Penny Lee's not looking to get married, but she is an officiant. And you know what? Having a wedding planner, a twofer to have somebody come in and help things connect can be important. And Mr. Sam, what's going on, sir?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Bernie. Sam Stirs ConnectedCars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. Let's see here. Dash cameras is my main thing. I also do electronics in cars, and I do minor repairs, oil changes, brake jobs, things like that. BAMS wise, Eric mentioned that I did some work on his vehicle, got his microphone working in his stereo system so he can take and make phone calls in his vehicle again. Also confirmed that his brakes were fine, and obviously went over some kind of rough road or something like that. Maybe had a brake problem, but they were fine. Besides that, let's see, our friend Q. I didn't know it, but she's a married woman now, and her husband came to me for a new dash camera in his new vehicle, a very nice new vehicle, in fact. And it was built in June of this year, and already put a dash camera in it, which is a smart move as far as I'm concerned when you have a vehicle like that. Anyway, the dash camera is one that actually can take and make voice recognition. It's a very nice machine. If anybody's interested, I can talk to them, let them know about that. Bernie was here just on the weekend, put a new splash plate underneath his vehicle, wife's vehicle, I should say, Lisa's vehicle, and a very nice one, much better than the manufacturer's one. I was lucky that way, but unfortunately the fender liner was not as good. So we're sending that one back and getting a new one that's going to fit a little bit better. And then lastly, the golf tournament. I participated in the golf tournament there last week, had fun, got soaked. I think I'm starting to grow roots here coming out of my feet. But had a good time. I was golfing with Bernie and Susan McGarry, and we had a good time getting completely, at least I did. I got completely soaked. Let's see here. That's it for me. Sam Stirs, ConnectedCars.ca. Today's mobile electronics without the cost of the vehicle, and lots more.
Oh, Sam, yes, we were soaked. We did well. And then we had a bite to eat, and then we warmed up as we drove off with our seat heaters on. I'm going to see if I can fire through, and it's not. There was a video I was going to share. Oh, that it launched. Ooh, I'm surprised. Okay, so you'll see a little video. That's a quick review of the. It's also been posted on LinkedIn. You'll see it both in the on the Phoenix page and etc. Those are some of the pictures. I will try dropping the pictures as we're going along. From that way, I share them one way or the other. They'll get out the gate, and you can see what's going on. Eric can see what he missed out, but I think he wasn't ready for flippers and swimming. And Tony, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Bernie. Yeah, just to talk a little bit about the golf that we had. Thank you so much, Mike, for spearheading the golf. It was it's amazing the way that you came through with your Play It Forward for Wishes, and thank you so much. You're making a huge impact to the community in so many ways, and it just kept coming through. So thank you a lot. And Kara Lee was there waving her flags and doing her thing, and so we really appreciate that. Thank you, Kara Lee, for being there and doing what you can, and with the weather, and that was great. We basically turned the day into liquid sunshine sort of thing. That's how we called it in Vancouver when I was there for a few years. It was just liquid sunshine. But right near the end, the rain did let up, and that was nice, being that way. But a hot shower was certainly welcomed when we got home. That's for sure. Also, I haven't been able to get into our Phoenix site. I guess my provider is throttling our site, so I can't get into Higher Self or I can't get into Phoenix, so I couldn't change any of the announcements. But in the tomorrow, the After Hours group, that's our mastermind, that is still on at 7 p.m. Those that want to come in, those that are members can come in for free. It's basically a mastermind where you could talk about your goals and whatever. We still have like 4 months basically left in this year. So if you have any goals, you want to be accountable, that's a great way to come in. Also, too, on Wednesday, the East Group will be meeting in person at Biggs on the east end of Ottawa on the corner of Cedarville and Ogilvy, I believe. It's right in that area. So I was going to post that, but as I said, I couldn't get in. But yeah, we're going to be meeting in person, 7:30 to 8:30-ish, okay? And so those that can be there will be great. We will try and set up a sort of a mock Zoom area that people that can't come in, people that have a sore foot, that can't leave the office, we totally respect that. we will try and accommodate where we can, okay? So we're going to be meeting there. So, Higher Self. Well, I want to talk a little bit about what's happening with the portal. 999 is a portal. So between yesterday, the September the 7th, that's where we had the blood moon, the beautiful moon that you saw last night, and that goes until September the 9th. So the 999 basically is this portal where everything comes to completion. September being the 9th month, and 9, of course, being the day, and 2025, when you add up all those numbers, is also a 9. So it's a huge numeric portal for that, and it's basically things need to get done. Things that you are avoiding to do, whether it's not a great situation, but we keep avoiding it, actually gets worse. This is all about facing your fears, facing whatever it is that's going on that you want to avoid, but you can't. It won't let you go. You have to sort of face it. Journaling it and writing things down that are uncomfortable, and then just burning it to symbolically let stuff go is one of the best ways. But it's all about just, okay, I'm done with this situation, whatever the contract, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a job, whether it's a profession, whether it's whatever it is that is constantly getting you to go onto a path that is going to be easier and one made and paved with love is really all what it's all about. Loving what you do, loving who you're with, loving everything. It has to be that. And if there's something that you're fearing, it's going to get worse if you avoid it. So this portal is really important. So they want as many souls or people as possible to be able to just look inside themselves and they say, is it worth the rub to get the shine? And in this case, it really isn't. All right. So the idea here is let things go. We're going to actually be talking about this more on my Friday show. I do that every Friday at 1:30, and we're going to get into more details on what this is and how to be able to get through whatever it is that that is holding you back to get your fullest life. All right. Tony Jennings from Higher Self. We are here to raise your spirits.
Tony, thank you. Isn't 999 an emergency number in Europe?
Is it?
Just yeah.
Could be.
Spin the dial, see what happens.
There you go. It's an emergency in a way, I guess.
My name is Bernie, and Ace Trade Winds is part of it. Knack for Business is part of it. Property Wizards is part of it. And other things, I share content. I share connections. For example, my partner in crime for the podcast, Wayne Pratt, he's just released a book with Matt Hawksley, and it's Freshly Brewed Coaching. There's an example of it. So I try introducing and cross-connecting content for people. And great golf tournament. So I think we did a BAM with everybody on. So Tony, if you're doing a head count for BAMs, just go, every person that was there basically did a BAM. So just I'll let you count the number of widgets in that spool. And Sam, great job, and the car drove home nicely. And Sam's very it's the fabric, the splash guard fabric is actually, it's fabric, and once it gets wet, it gets saggy, and that's okay in old age, but not so good for the car. So yeah, it was like a little flag waving underneath the car as I was watching my wife driving it behind me, and I'm like, yeah. So Sam, thank you so much. I appreciate the wisdom, and I'm going to swing over to Kelly, because Kelly, the floor is yours, ma'am. That mute button, it's evil, I know.
It wasn't just that, it's that I toggled my screens. So I was like, oh, I have to bring Zoom all the way over. So thank you. Quick little recap on my couple of weeks. I had a BAM with Mr. Tony Giannis. I also attended his sound bath session, which brings me to ask, are we doing that also? Are you hosting that again this week? Because the calendar isn't quite updated on the Phoenix site. And I think that's another one that I think is important to highlight because it was such a great experience. It's showing that the next one's coming up on the 5th, and I think that today's the 8th. Oh, sorry. So anyway, if it's happening, I highly encourage everyone to attend. It's very interesting, and it can be remotely, which I guess is a good thing, because based on what I heard and saw, that physical space gets really cozy, fills up pretty well. So I did it remotely. I was dog sitting, and me and the dog just laid together. I had my earphones on, and I like to think that the pooch benefited from the sound as well. I've also created a list for myself. I have a large number of individuals who I need to be in contact with. Josh, you're on it. Sam, you're going to be on it. Jacqueline, you're on it. I apologize for not being able to get to the BAMs, but at least I've got a BAM list. So that's good. I'm also planning a wedding. I'm not a wedding planner. So do keep me in mind for if you do have a wedding planner or other third-party professionals. I'm going to need support and assistance with all kinds of things, decor, rentals for marquee, et cetera, et cetera. That's all going to be coming very soon and very quickly. So shout out and gratitude in advance for your help and support. So today, I'm doing my very first, I'm a little bit nervous. I guess it's education session is what we should call it. Tutorial University of Life. Anyway, I'll just get on with it. One of the things that I have often been told, and this is outside of regular business hours, I get told by people that I interact with. Even just yesterday, I brought my cat to the groomer, picked him back up, and the receptionist said to me, "You are so nice. You are so kind and so patient. How? Where do you come from? Why? How are you like this?" And it gave me pause to think and reflect, and obviously be grateful for that feedback. But really, truly, it is a skill, and it is a skill that has been cultivated for me for decades. And it's really changed not only my personal life and the interactions that I have with individuals on a personal level, but it's changed my business. How and why have I gotten here? Let's talk about that. And let's talk about when things go wrong. Having had experience for over 20 years in the airline sector, I had experienced all variety of things going wrong, things, the wheels falling off the bus, disgruntled individuals, angry individuals, outbursts, even physical conflicts. I have lived it all, I've seen it all. One of the common denominators that became quite clear to me is that people bring to you what they're capable of. What does that mean? That means that if they're coming at you with, let's say, passive aggression and snideness in a complaint form, that's all they're capable of. They're literally giving you their best. If they come at you with a well-articulated complaint, they're capable of that. Everyone's skill set and everyone's abilities are at a different level. And we need to understand that foundationally from the outset. Them approaching you is a great indication of who and how they are right now in this moment. Because that's all we have, right? We just have our one interaction with them. So it's often called negative feedback. Let's say someone comes up to you, they're disgruntled with Jacqueline, for example. They're not happy. They looked online and they saw a different mortgage rate than what you quoted them, and their credit score is like super good. Thank you very much. My credit score is up in the 700s. Why didn't I get the best rate? It's really, and I'm not, it's a frequent error for people to receive that feedback, incorporate it, absorb it, get defensive, and feel as though it is about them. So one of the first things I always discuss with my team is someone else's reaction is about them. It is not about you. That's a good indication of the fact that they're probably experiencing stressors in their lives. So if we can start with step one being depersonalize it. It is not about you, it is about them. It is a reflection of their current state of being. Step two, what are we going to do about it? Okay, in the moment is where we sink or swim. Basically, we have about 8 seconds to process, recover, and respond. Did you notice I did not say react? That is not part of what we're going to do. Instead, we are going to listen. So we're listening at the outset. We process, take that information in. We're almost like, Josh would understand this, we're almost like a computer database. All we are looking for is data points. What are the data points? Body language shows frustration, tone of voice shows frustration and anger, words are indicating displeasure with product. Okay, boom, data analysis of the situation. There's no feeling happening within me that is going to be helpful for the situation. If I bring my own reaction forward, I'm corrupting the data. So we don't want to do that. We can have our feelings, of course, but it's called siloing, or it's called compartmentalizing, or pause waiting. There's different ways that we can frame it. If this is a skill set we have, if not, we're going to develop it over time with our clients. Jacqueline, rah, 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 you gave me the worst of all of them I've seen. What's wrong with you? Pause. Data. They're displeased. They're probably stressed. We can make some empathetic assumptions. They want a solution. Okay, great. We've done our first job. Yay. Pause, reflect, and analyze. The second job, we have permission to pause. What often happens in these situations is we hear this tsunami of negativity or anger, we feel their feelings, because most of us, I'm probably safe in assuming, have a degree of empathy, and most of us experience other people's feelings when they're presented to us. Some of us don't. That's okay. We're still really good at fixing cars. So, yeah. So, as an empathetic person, we have job number 2. Get grounded. This is why we pause. So someone has come at me, or Jackie, the rate that you gave me is just trash, raw, angry. Jacqueline, pause. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. How do we do that? I've heard from a very wise woman, also named Jacqueline, that breath is vital. So we have the luxury. This situation is occurring with us, not to us. We are in relationship with this client. There's a relationship, a back and forth happening in real time. They have come to you with their portion of the discussion. The relationship is when you respond. The first response, breath, grounding, pause. It's only once we have that moment to pause and reflect that we have, and then we've given ourselves the luxury of time, that our minds, our brains can function. The machine that we have upstairs doesn't work if it's panicked. It doesn't work if it's emotionized. Therefore, we must slow down and respond. How do we respond? If you need to buy yourself more time, you reflect back to them what they've already said. Am I correct in understanding that? Repeat. So am I correct in understanding that you're displeased with the mortgage rate I gave you because you found other rates for people with different credit scores? Is that right? Are we accurate? Yes? Okay, great. Even mirroring and responding to the client is going to it's going to achieve the goal of having the client de-escalated. Why will this feel good to the client? They're feeling validated. They are feeling heard. They are being validated and they are being heard. You're seeking clarity. Am I correct in understanding? Did I get this right? Can we talk about this? Get their permission. If they just want to vent, the answer will be no, hang up the phone, stomp, stomp, stomp. Great. We'll revisit it later. If the answer is yes, great. Let's have a meaningful discussion about this. Let's talk about it. Absolutely, let's talk about it. What do we avoid? We avoid defensiveness and we avoid lateral attacks. We avoid saying things such as, well, I told you that this was going to be the best that you could get. Well, I already informed you. Why are you still investigating? None of those items are productive. Remember, this is data. This is not a personal attack. The data can remain. You did tell them. You did X, Y, Z. What we must do is keep it out of our own selves. It is not about your degree of incompetence. It is not about these things always happen to me. It is not about, well, everyone complains and why is it so hard? It's data analysis. We've got the fact, they're displeased. Step 2, get grounded, think. Step 3, reflect back, investigate more, get more data. And thus, the investigation cycle can continue until you, as an excellent service professional, have found the tools to be able to help provide them with new solutions. I think I'm running out of time. This was just a very, very brief presentation. Bernie, the time watcher, am I okay to keep going or do we need to wrap up?
We got about another 2 minutes.
2 minutes, great. So this is where it gets really exciting. I don't know if you guys can tell, I get a little bit excited when I talk about this kind of thing. We've got our information, we've got our data, we've got our grounding, we've got our prefrontal cortex online. We have done that by maintaining our emotional boundaries. We are clarifying information now. We're getting more data. Data is super important. By the way, on a secondary note, when you're accumulating this data, note what people are complaining to you about or what they're displeased with. This is actually going to form a subset of data so that you can see, is this on an individual basis? Do a spreadsheet. Talk to Josh, he'll help you make one. What are these complaints? When are they coming? How are they coming? Is this just a one-off Or is this a recurring theme of something where there's maybe a gap in my process that I could be improving? Perhaps I could develop a material to help construct, to help make this process easier for my clients. Who knows? That's a conversation for you and Josh and maybe for Kat. But don't ignore the complaint. The complaint is valid. People are articulating ways that you can improve your business. The way that you can continue improving your bond and your relationship with your client will come with boundaries. What does this mean? This means that with your disgruntled client, who can sometimes take up more oxygen in the room than the other clients, we develop for ourselves a set of protocols in which we will respond to them. I have had clients messaging me at 11:30 at night saying, this isn't right. They said that this washing machine was going to work, but it's racketing and it's too, I can't live like this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Bombardment of text or email or phone calls. They have the right to reach out, and we have the right to turn their notifications off. This is really important. We don't, as independent business professionals, we often don't think we have the power, and we have to jump to fixing every problem and get that fire hose out and douse it and make it all better right away. The reason I suggest that perhaps this is an improper or non-constructive approach is because it can cost us our vital energy and lead to burnout. How can us individuals, as at this point in time, for the context of this conversation, we're accumulating data and we're looking at facts in order to create solutions. So how can I accumulate data, document, and look at facts if I'm starting to feel burnt out and exhausted from the interaction? There will be a solution at some point. It will look a million different ways depending on the context in your business. However, we are not doing ourselves a service if we are letting the monkeys run the zoo, metaphorically speaking. If we're letting our clients pull at us, call us 911 or 999, Bertie, we have to get I need this solution. If it is not an emergency, it's not an emergency. So we do not need to treat our client crises and our client emotional reactions as though they are emergencies, unless, of course, there's an actual emergency. Instead, we create a framework of boundaries around ourselves. We can communicate to our client, I understand how you're feeling. My team and I are working on a solution. You can expect a phone call from me tomorrow at 10 a.m. Set the expectation really clear. If they continue talking with you again and again, reaching out to you, tomorrow at 10 a.m., you may say, thank you so much. I received all of your communications. We were busy working on a solution. Let's schedule a meeting. And that's it. Watch your boundaries, take your complaints. Complaints are gifts. Get grounded, protect your energy, protect yourselves, and don't take it personally.
Perfect. And the quote for the day, much learning does not teach understanding. And that's Hero. Yeah, you'll figure his name out. You'll see it. Just do your interpretive dance with the name. There we go, folks. That is a wrap. Kelly, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Nice, Kelly.
Thank you for giving me the chance to share a couple of things that I've learned.
Thank you.
Wicked. Cheers. Have a groovy day.
Okay, take care,
Bye,
guys.
everyone. Thank you.
So Tony, is this Wednesday's meeting in person?
Yeah.
I'd suggest maybe contacting everybody in the East group.
Yes, I'll be sending a link. I'll be doing a link a little bit later today, just to let everybody know.
Some of us already know the bad news, Sam.
Bad news?
Well, yeah, because I have to go through that stupid highway that is going to be backed up, so.
You can handle it, no problem.
Yeah, I leave at like 6
o'clock
morning. I'll see if I can take my motorcycle. I can get. I don't know if I can do lane splitting, but I can go through a little bit.
Doing that. No, no, no.
So that's
Well,
this
actually,
Wednesday.
it is legal. You just can't go over 40.
So that's this one. That is this Wednesday we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. It was actually a couple of members had mentioned it. We haven't had an in-person meeting for the East Group, and I says, okay, well, we could.
Yeah, no. I'm just trying to confirm the time. That's this Wednesday. That's all.
7:30. Yeah, 7:30 this Wednesday. Yeah, yeah.
Josh says he's coming right up.
Coming up.
Oh yeah.
But we will, for those that we understand it's sort of short notice, but we will have a sort of a Zoom thing at one of the tables, so you can still come in. But it would be nice to see you.
I'll be there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and good luck with your foot there, Eric.
Thanks.
Eric.
Yes. I'll see you at 11.
Yeah, for the podcast today.
I'll send you some stuff.
Thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Kelly, I have a client who's, she's left. I have a client who's a wedding planner. I'll send her to Kelly.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
It's not Kelly, it's Penny Lee.
Well, it is Kelly
A wedding
as well.
planner, not efficient wedding planner.
Well, that's what the network's looking for, though. That's
Yeah, but some people
role?
are not wise enough to join us, Bernie.
Kelly's coming back. Kelly's coming back.
Is
Stand
she?
by.
Oh, she is. Look at you. Way to go, Bernie. How'd you do that?
I signed out thinking no one had anything else left to share. So I left, and then as soon as I hit leave, I heard, and Kelly, and I was like, no. I came back. I'm so sorry.
I have a client who's a wedding planner. I'll send you
yes. That would be very helpful. Thank you, Bernie. I appreciate
it. And she specializes
Eric.
Talking about brides.
Eric doesn't have facial hair.
So she does. Sorry, she specializes in what? Home theaters?
In wedding planning.
Oh, wedding planning. Yes, I understood that. But then Tony said something that I didn't register. So.
No, she specializes in all the things you've been talking about, but because brides, they can get insistent at times.
This one can't figure out what she wants. I'm just like, I don't.
There you go. That's the best.
I was just like, can we just do it on a canoe in the middle of a lake? And
I love that. I'm in.
But then we have people coming from Australia, and some will be coming from Toronto, and I'm like, okay, we will figure out ways to accommodate it and make it a lovely experience. I'd set the date July 1st on Canada Day, just because I love Canada Day and I love free fireworks.
Yeah.
Well,
there you go. Free fireworks. That's awesome.
Yeah, and then fireworks on every anniversary. Woo!
I know. You can't go wrong there, really.
If I ever forget, I'd be like, oh, right. 10 o'clock at night. It's our anniversary.
See you all. Bye.
Bye, Eric. Thank you.
Bye.
And then Josh, I haven't reached out to you yet, but I will, I promise. I'm confident that there's some minor surgery, just a little nip and tuck that needs to be done in my system. I work from my laptop a lot, and I really need her to be in fit form.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, Josh is your guy.
That sounds great.
While we were in the meeting, he fixed the two problems I had while we were in the meeting,
Wow.
So yeah. Sorry, so I'm doodling around and doing things with my fingers here when I should be paying attention to the group, but I'm just trying to help.
What complaints do you really get, Josh? Let's be honest. I don't know if my presentation was
simple. No, I loved your presentation. I was back in line in time to listen to you, and I think that what you said was amazing. The those learnings that you shared, I feel like that should be like part of a course that new entrepreneurs should have to go through, and it's like you describe that and I hear my own journey in your voice there. It's like, okay, I remember there was like a turning point where I was like, okay, I need to get over my ego but I did all this stuff and you should appreciate me when you're having like a crappy day because your email's blowing up and like leave ego at the door and just say, I'm sorry that this is happening to you. I will do everything in my physical power to make sure that you get back to 100% as soon as possible, rather than, oh, but I had this email security thing set up and you shouldn't be having this problem, and you're only having this problem because you didn't do this thing I told you to do. It's like that's common, especially in like, more D-type personalities, the dominant that are, as well as engineers. I don't know about your industries, but in my industry, there's a lot of people who are, the smartest guy in the room syndrome, and they get offended when somebody is upset rather than recognizing, hey, this person's upset because something's gone wrong and it might not be all of my fault, but I'm the person they're calling looking for help. And
You're
so
their
take that as
lifeline.
an advantage that they trust you enough not just to start swearing and firing you right away.
Josh, it's
It's
like
like,
you're already on the third and fourth parts of this little presentation that I've developed.
well, there you go. But it's like you needed to you need a time machine to talk to Josh Lamb 15 years ago, maybe
I do
10 years
not, and I
ago.
will tell you exactly why, because part of our growth is from our mistakes. And thank
That's
you,
it.
Josh of yesteryear, for fucking up so badly that I will never forget how awfully that went. And I will
Yeah,
always remember to do better.
exactly.
You're
So,
perfect.
well, there you go.
Yeah,
So,
I've thought about I've fantasized about doing a little bit less real estate focus and more professional development focus for other
I
clients.
I like that approach. I
Yeah.
like
I
that.
like it. You're
Yeah.
like you're a realtor primarily. Is this something like, do you do business coaching as kind of a side thing, or are you just doing a public service announcement for all those people that might be yelling at their clients when they should be fixing their tires?
I am
Yeah.
just doing this for us. It's something that
Okay.
I've worked on. I lived working as a flight attendant for 25 years or 20 years. I worked as a server. I worked as a executive assistant. I've worked as a project manager, events executioner. Um, yeah, I was one of the girls for like Chevrolet. Drive this car. It has wheels. I've done it all.
I always want wheels on my car, so that's a
So
huge
does
plus.
everybody else. They were so happy.
I like wheels that go
Oh my
forward with
God,
the
that's
motor.
Yes, yeah. The
You
wheels
can have
should all
wheels that
point in the same direction, not side to
They
side.
all go the same way.
oh my
Fact.
Ooh.
God. I
Yeah.
think we all love you now.
That's great.
So I've been living these lessons. And as I found that my personal and spiritual evolution has taken place simultaneously, I've been able to contextualize some of these learnings and look at them through the framework of like, there are certain therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy that talk about like your biases, which I've done and I've experienced. Um, and I just get these like little brain flashes where I'm like, well, that definitely applies to being an independent business owner. That
Mhm.
definitely applies to being a real estate agent or maybe eventually a broker because this and that. So I was able to kind of take the lessons and the therapeutic benefits and tie them to the real time errors that I've been living through, and then sort of step back and observe, okay, this is really interesting. This will save me headaches in the future because of that. So it's a lot about
Yeah.
the language, about our positioning. And I mean, moving forward, coming up, like clients can read our energy. They
Hmm.
can feel our frustration. We have to get really quick at getting grounded and getting neutral and remember data, data, data. This is just data. Because
Yeah,
if they feel us going and our face is like, uh-huh, they can feel that. And so a large part of recovery is getting really quick and familiar and comfortable with recovering your own emotions first.
absolutely. And it's like, what do you want to accomplish when a client has a conflict with you, right? Like, do you just want them to like go away and like just live with this problem in their rage forever and
Yeah.
but still pay you money, hopefully? Or
Yeah.
do you want to like bring them on the path to resolution? And it's an interesting thing because it's like it applies most primarily to our client relationships, like vendor client relationships, because your client doesn't want to be your therapist. They don't want to be responsible for your good feelings. They want you to do something. They pay you to do
They
something.
don't care how you feel. They want
They-
their result.
And like different personalities, they might be more empathetic and they might care how you feel, but in reality, you shouldn't expect them to. And so like take those clients who are like gentle and who deliver like bad news gently as like the blessing that they are. And then those ones that are going to call you up and rage, like, I mean, it's one thing to be abusive on the phone, and that's something that you can gauge how much abuse you want to take. But like, just for somebody who's having a bad day and might be upset, might even be yelling, um, it's something that you got to pretend that you're literally just the kiosk. I'm the fix your real estate issues kiosk right now. That's what I'm for. I know that you want to kick your McDonald's order, like the big auto order thing, when it doesn't get your milkshake right, but it's the milkshake dispenser shouldn't kick back. And
Are you
later,
saying, Jacqueline, this is an online conversation that's being publicly broadcasted?
Indeed
Yeah,
it